Call this general services meeting on November the 25th, 2019 at noon. We've got 3 items on the agenda, and the first one is the award of bid for honeysuckle well pump rehabilitation project. Kyle.
Good afternoon. Kyle sends his regrets. He had scheduled for family leave, and so he's off going north, and so I'm pinch hitting for him today.
That's it, we're turning this down.
What's that?
Nothing, just go on.
So we are looking for, went out to bid for our annual well rehab, where we're doing honeysuckle well over on 4th and Kathleen. The well was last done in 2007 through an emergency repair. So this well runs it's the primary well for the city. It runs most of the time, almost 24 hours a day. It's one of our smaller wells, puts out around 1,500 GPM. So it gets the most hours, so we wanted to get it in line and get it repaired. We'll be replacing the 14-inch diameter 5-stage bowls on it. And we've got a new motor on the way. Won't be here for a little bit. Trying that out. This will be the 3rd motor on that well. We'll also be going through and cleaning all the shafts, checking spiders, see if they need to be replaced. So we've got that in the bid. We've received 2 bids on this project, and one from RC Worst, and the lowest bid from Specialty Pump Services for $64,261. We did have options in there for cleaning the well. If we we're going to do a video and see if it needs to be cleaned or not. If it does, we have that option in there. All the options together would bring the total to $107,001. We're not expecting to expend that much, as we pretty much know the condition of the well after it was out the last time. So what we'd like to do is requesting staff to, or requesting council approval for the contract, a base bid contract of $64,261, and not to exceed the budgeted amount of $92,000. Last year we had some issues with the Linden or Locust well that we did not expect. It hadn't been out in a long time. We don't expect to have those issues with this one. So.
Do we ever expect to have issues?
We hope not. Sometimes we do know of them. So.
Any other questions?
No.
Well, I didn't know you were done. I just interrupted, which is
Sorry.
something I do. So you said this is the 3rd motor on this well. Is that typical?
No, this is one of our smaller motors, and we've had issues with this frame design on this motor overheating. It gets hot spots in there and causes the motor to fail prematurely. So we're trying a different brand. It's a different type frame, a different brand, same height and everything, so it'll fit properly. But supposedly it's not supposed to have these issues. It's based on the old Westinghouse model.
Okay. And in the staff report, it says that it tested with production at 2,000 gallons per minute.
Correct.
And now it's down to 1,500.
Yep.
Is that why we're rehabilitating it, or?
We should hit between 18 and 1,900 GPM.
Nice, okay.
Yep.
And this item was in the budget,
Yes.
and I remember hearing about it before.
Yep.
So I'm pretty sure we're up to speed on that, so thank you.
Got any questions?
I don't.
Need a motion?
So move to, that council approve the award of the bid for the Honeysuckle Well Pump Rehabilitation Project to Specialty Pump Service Incorporated as a successful bidder for the sum of $64,261 and contract not to exceed the budgeted amount of $92,000.
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, item number 2, approval of a memorandum of understanding with Rivera Walk. Monty.
Good afternoon. So, the Riviera Walk at Riverstone is a subdivision that came in several years ago. At the time, we offered the developer to install irrigation to landscape that area between the trail and the homeowners association fence, if they so chose, and they agreed to choose, so we put it in the annexation agreement, so it was then required. So the developer gave the funds to the HOA to have this installed, and they are now coming forward asking for permission to install this irrigation and to do some landscaping along the trail. We like the idea. The HOA will pay to put the irrigation in, they will pay to plant the landscaping, and they will pay for maintenance. It'll help doll up the area between Riverstone and the future Atlas Mill Park. As you know, down here by Riverstone, there's going to be an intersection of trails leading down, and this area will be the dog park, and working on up the river will be the rest of the park. So that is basically it.
Any questions?
So just to clarify, this is 30 feet just east of the trail there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And Monty, you mentioned the annexation agreement, which I didn't see in the staff report. So did the annexation agreement say they have to do it or we have to do it?
They have to do it.
So that we just need to give them permission to do it on the right of way?
That's correct.
Okay. And it looks pretty good. It looks like, so if anything happens to it, they have to fix it. If it doesn't perform, they have to pull it out. And then we will just go ahead and mow it down or whatever we're doing to it now, I guess.
That's correct. We currently just do rough cut mowing a couple times in the summer.
Okay. So they're going to make it pretty.
Yes.
Well, that'll be delightful.
Yeah.
And it doesn't cost us anything.
Double win.
Lovely.
Okay, any other questions? Need a motion?
I'll make a motion that council approve a memorandum of understanding between the City of Coeur d'Alene and Riviera Walk at Riverstone Homeowners Association for the purpose of installing irrigation lines and maintaining a beautification area in city property.
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No. Okay, this next item on the agenda, I'm gonna excuse myself and go outside, and Bill, you can report on it.
Well, do you have to go outside? Could you stay here where it's warm and just not have to
Well,
say
maybe
anything?
just in the hallway, maybe.
Okay,
But we do, before that, we do have to table the one item before it, which is
Correct.
the,
Okay.
which was listed in the agenda, but we're tabling that. So-
yes, just give me a little more time to sort some things out. That's
Okay.
all I need.
And that was the
it'll-
approval of the-
It'll come back to you at a later date.
It was the approval of the urban forestry code changes, which if anyone had looked at the agenda,
Correct.
that's being tabled.
Okay.
Do we need a motion to table that? Like, nah, okay, good.
All right, item number 4, I'd like to welcome Bill Greenwood here.
Thank you.
And the item is approval of naming of an area within Persons Field as Ron Ettinger Park.
Correct. So the Parks Commission voted unanimously for this. We had chosen 3 locations. I have since found out today that there is a preferred location of this sign, and so we would like to have that approval to move forward. I have the budget to, purchase the sign and get it installed. And the 3 locations it says on my staff report, the one that's been chosen is the corner of 15th and Garden. So it'll be near the Persons Field sign, and under it, it'll say Ron Ettinger Park, with maybe some other verbiage underneath.
Other verbiage?
Other verbiage.
Any questions?
Do you know what the other verbiage is?
I do not.
You can share it if you like.
Well, would it be something along the lines of the park so nice we paid for it twice?
That would be it.
I would wholeheartedly agree to that.
Yes.
And so, well, that's really nice. Do you have, are you working on a mock-up of the sign?
Yeah, I
at
have a
all?
couple. I've been bouncing it back and forth with the sign company, Silver Creek. So we'll come up with something. I'm going to have the family weigh in on the decision about, I have 3 kind of versions and which they like the best and that sort of thing. So we're working through that and hopefully get it up here in just a few months.
So the timeline when this thing will be up will be, what, February?
Yeah, that would be about right. I don't think it would take that long for the sign company to produce. It's, I think, mostly about making the decision about collectively what everybody agrees upon.
Okay, well, that sounds really nice.
I think it's a great tribute to somebody who has done so much for us.
I just want to say thank you. Thank you to the Parks Department and yourself, and Parks and Rec Committee for honoring Ron.
Oh,
So
you're
well
welcome.
deserved.
You're more than
Yes.
welcome.
So, it's pretty cool.
So we go ahead and make a motion with two of us, and, all right.
Yeah, so I would make a motion that council approve the naming of an area within Personfield as Ron Ettinger Park. And I'm wondering if we should just put this on the agenda because I think it's a big deal.
I think that would be appropriate.
And I would recommend that staff place this on the agenda for a council meeting.
Right, and if I can, maybe I'll have a couple of those mock-ups available, if I can
Great.
get something, so I'll push on that.
Excellent, thank
Yep.
you.
I'll second Dan's motion. All those in favor, say aye.
One second, do we need to say the location, or is the
Oh,
location?
well, I don't know if you really, I think, however you want to. I just found out this morning where the location is at 15th and Garden, so.
We also heard the same feedback, that
Yeah.
was the location.
And so I think we're good with that.
Yep.
So I'm good, yes. I would vote aye then.
Aye. Item approved. And that concludes today's General Services Committee. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.